I love South Korea, but before I came to the country, I didn't really know anything about the country except from what I watched in K-drama, movies. And like, movies don't really tell you all there is to a country. And so there are, like every other country in the world, there are advantages and disadvantages, things you like and things you dislike about living in the country. So today I will be sharing with you things I love about living in South Korea. Hello and welcome back to my channel. 안녕하세요. 안녕하세요, 여러분. Okay, let's get started. 10 things I love about living in South Korea. Number one thing, I will start with safety. Korea is a relatively safe country to live in. Now, I say this because you can move around, 12 midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. You're not afraid of being attacked by armed robbers, although some people have reported cases of being stalked, but relatively compared to other countries, compared to what we see in the media, compared to my own country, Korea is safe. I've never heard there could be any account of kidnappings or anything. So for me, that's one good thing I love about living in South Korea. I think, I'm not sure, but I think one of the reasons it's safe because there are CCTV cameras everywhere. Like literally everywhere you go to, there are cameras watching you. You may not know it, but there are cameras watching. So everybody has that consciousness that there are cameras, and so whatever you do, you will be caught. So I think maybe that may be one of the reasons why Korea is a safe country to live in. But two, Wi-Fi. Like you guys know that Korea is the technology hub of the world, right? So I like the Wi-Fi. There's free Wi-Fi. You go on the buses, free Wi-Fi. Sometimes on the train on the train, Wi-Fi. Like maybe you stop in the bus station, you're waiting for your bus, there's Wi-Fi. You're in the subway, there's Wi-Fi. You go to the library, there's Wi-Fi. You go to a coffee shop, there's Wi-Fi. Like literally everywhere, free Wi-Fi. Oh my god. So you're always, when I first came to Korea, I didn't have my own number, my personal Korean number for I think 6 or 8 months. I can't remember, but for a long time I didn't have my number because I didn't see the use for it. I had Wi-Fi everywhere, so I could communicate through WhatsApp with my friends and family members. So free Wi-Fi is one of the reasons why I love living in South Korea. Life of convenience. Now, this is what I mean. In Korea, everything in Korea, everything works. Like there's the delivery system, very fast and sharp. The shipping system, like there's coupon, you can order for your stuff, and in less than 48 hours it is like in front of your door. So life of convenience. You go to the restaurant, you don't need to shout at like, hey madam, no, you just press the call button, and then they answer. Life of ease and convenience. You don't even some people don't really have to go under the sun and shop. You just stay in your house and order for stuff and it gets to you. So that's one thing I like about Korea. Things are within your reach. There's this CU shop. I think I've mentioned this in one of my other videos. There are 24-hour shops that even if you forgot to buy something, you could easily run to the shops and get what you want. So Korea is relatively a convenient country. Number 4 thing will be good public service and low crime rates, almost related to safety. Now, I like that Korea is organized. Everything works. The postal system works. The transportation system works. Everything works in Korea. And when you go into an office, you want to apply for something, most times you get the thing done fast. So unlike where I come from, you want to get your transcript, for example, you have to you could even miss your admission. But in Korea, you finish your degree and you want to get your transcript, like you can get it like this. Although no country in the world is free from crime, yes, no, but for Korea, the crime rate is very low. I've never heard any news about kidnapping or all sort of things like that. So that's one reason why I like Korea. It's the crime rate is relatively low. Number 5, I think it should be number 5. Public restroom. Yeah, for me this is very important. For some other persons may not be important, but for me it is key, because I remember back home there are times where I'll be so pressed that there'll be nowhere to ease myself, and sometimes I just rush into a restaurant to eat myself. But in Korea, public bathrooms, and they are clean and they are free. Unlike, they are free. Oh my goodness. I remember time when I would travel, maybe I would take the bus from Lagos to Abuja or to Owerri or somewhere, and the bus will have to stop. I have to use the restroom. I get to pay to use the restroom, and when I get in there, it's not like it's clean, like it's stinking, smelling, and I still have to pay to use it, But in Korea, you don't pay. There are public restroom everywhere, and there are cleaners who clean this place. This is one, I'm like, give me a public restroom, and everything is so this, to me, this is one good thing I love about living in Korea. Yeah, I love. Number 16 is beautiful scenery. Korea is a painfully beautiful country. Wow, like it's so beautiful. Like everywhere you go, you want to just take pictures. It's a beautiful country. There are gems. It has a beautiful landscape, and there are gems littered everywhere you go. Yeah, literally everywhere you go. Beautiful flowers, Just, I don't know, I can't explain it. I love nature, and so when you come into a country where there are beautiful scenery, like, for me, it's one good thing I love about living in Korea. The thing I love about living in Korea is the side dishes. Yes, when you eat out at the restaurant, you order for your food, like the main course, but there are also side dishes that you eat them with. So sometimes even before your food comes to your table, you can be nibbling on those side dishes. So this is one thing I love about South Korea, the side dishes. Another thing I love about South Korea is the festival. There's almost festival for everything. Like, I don't know, everything has a festival. So because of the corona pandemic right now, there's like a cut down on most festivities. But before the corona hits the world, there are a lot of festivals to attend. The thing I like about South Korea is the affordable life. Yes, when I mean affordable, is like when you work, whatever you earn, you are able to make a living out of what you earn. Unlike some places where you work and then you're not able to even like pay for basic needs. So in Korea, whatever you earn, you are able to at least pay your house rent, pay your water bill, your electricity bill, your gas bill. Those basic things you're able to save if you eat in, like if you don't eat out. So I think it's an affordable country compared to, it depends on where you live. It depends on the country you live in, but for me, in comparison to my home country, I think that Korea is an affordable place to live in. The thing I like about South Korea is that it's relatively easy to navigate and cheap to travel around. Korea is like, I don't know how to explain it now. If you're moving to another part of Korea for the first time, you will hardly ever get lost. Unlike back home in Nigeria, that you can really get lost. Like, there's the navigation system. So if you're going to somewhere new, you can check with the naval map or the cacao map to see where you're going to and how to get to that place. So it's a very easy country to navigate, and the means of transportation is very cheap. You can travel around, like, just load your bus card, and moving from one state to another state. Let's say most time when I go to Seoul, I live in Incheon, so when I go to Seoul, I spend, let's say, approximately less than $4 or $3, right? That's, for me, it's in comparison to other countries. So I think it's relatively cheap to travel around Korea. Yeah, but if you use if you use the taxis, use taxis, then taxis are kind of very expensive. But if you use the bus and use the train, yeah, it's relatively cheap to travel around Korea. Another thing I like about Korea, I think this is an offshoot of the life of convenience about the healthcare. In Korea, although most times before you go to the large hospitals, you need a referral from smaller hospitals. But I love the fact that the healthcare system is functional. Now, back home, sometimes when you go to the hospital to see a doctor, you have to wait and wait and wait, and sometimes you never get to see the doctor, and the day is wasted. But in Korea, like, you sometimes you can even walk in without an appointment and you still get to see the doctor. Yes, so that's one thing I like about Korea, because I remember one time when I was critically ill. I didn't even know I was critically ill, and as soon as I got into the hospital, I did my blood work, and like, oh no, you need to go to a bigger hospital. And immediately, I was referred to a bigger hospital, and immediately the treatment started. I didn't even have to pay. Like, I didn't have to drop any money. Unlike other places where you have to drop your money and then they start treating you. In Korea, once you go in and you need to be taken care of, they start treatment. And after treatment, you don't even know whether your money, you don't know how much it's going to cost. But after everything, they give you your bill, and of course, you have to pay your pay, or you can work out a way to pay out your bill. But they don't do like pay before service, of course, because the country works. Now, I'm not saying this to spit on other countries, no. I'm just saying because the country works, the health system also works. So, yeah, these are some of the reasons I love living in South Korea. So, another thing I love about South Korea is that you can get skincare relatively cheap. Yes, skincare relatively cheap. I remember back home, you want to buy some creams, you'll be calling thousands of naira to get some basic skincare to take care of your skin. But in Korea, maybe because they're experts in skincare, so you can get these things relatively cheap, and sometimes you don't even need to like travel far to get them. You could not be working back from work and you go down the underground subway, and then there are a lot of stores. You can just walk in and get something that you really want. So I love that the skincare products are relatively cheap and affordable. So these are the things I can remember that I love about living in South Korea. So, have you been to South Korea? Have you lived in South Korea, or you have friends or family who live in South Korea? What are the things they talk about, they love living in South Korea? So, let me know, what are other things you love about living in South Korea, or you love about South Korea? Let me know in the comment section. So, if you love this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and considering subscribing to my YouTube channel. Till I come your way next time, keep living intentional. Bye.